Welcome to Calm Cozy Bedtime, your sanctuary for relaxation and peaceful sleep. Tonight, I invite you to embark on a journey away from the noise of modern life. Let's explore an ancient castle nestled deep in the English countryside, a place where time stands still and every stone whispers tales of the past. Picture a serene setting. A cobblestone path winds gently through gardens bursting with vibrant blooms, leading you to the castle's grand iron gates. Birds chirp melodiously in the crisp, fresh air, and a gentle breeze carries the delicate fragrance of roses. As you step through the gates, the golden light of the setting sun washes over the landscape, painting a scene straight out of a fairy tale. Inside the castle, a warm and inviting ambiance awaits. The tea room is a haven of tranquility, with tables draped in pristine white lace. Rays of sunlight pour through tall windows, casting a soft glow across the room. On the table before you, fine china teacups glisten beside golden scones, fresh clotted cream, and ruby red strawberry jam, all waiting to delight your senses. Find a cozy corner, wrap yourself in a soft blanket, and let your body relax as your mind drifts into this peaceful haven. This is your time, a moment to release all tension and let your soul be soothed by the timeless charm of the castle. Close your eyes and prepare to let go of the day's worries. Together, we'll step into a world of stillness, serenity, and gentle healing. Welcome to your journey to tranquility. Let's begin. Imagine yourself standing before an ancient castle, its towering grey stone walls cloaked in a rich tapestry of ivy, glowing under the golden embrace of the setting sun. Built in the 13th century, this castle is a sentinel of time, each stone imbued with tales of knights clad in armour, grand feasts in the great hall, and whispers of noble lives now long past. It is a place where history breathes, offering a glimpse into a world that feels both distant and alive. Surrounding the castle, rolling hills stretch as far as the eye can see, a lush, verdant sea dotted with vibrant wildflowers in shades of red, yellow, and blue. These hills rise and fall like gentle waves, cradling the castle in a serene embrace. A soft, cool breeze carries the faint perfume of blooming lavender and roses, mingling with the earthy aroma of the land itself. Somewhere in the distance, the melodic murmur of a brook gently cascades over smooth stones, its rhythm in harmony with the faint rustling of leaves stirred by the wind. The path to the castle is a cobblestone trail, its surface worn smooth by countless footsteps over the centuries. As you walk, the crunch of autumn leaves underfoot feels like a gentle reminder of your presence in this magical place. Each leaf, a splash of gold or crimson, adds to the picturesque beauty of this timeless scene. Drawing nearer, you find yourself in awe of the grand oak gates. They stand tall and imposing, their dark wood burnished by time. Intricate carvings of family crests, mythical beasts, and heraldic symbols tell the story of a lineage that once held power here. Running your fingers over the engravings, you can almost feel the pride and craftsmanship of those who created them so many centuries ago. Beyond the gates, a garden of breathtaking beauty opens before you. It is no ordinary garden. It is a masterwork of nature and design, a symphony of colours and scents. Towering rose bushes offer blossoms in hues of crimson, blush pink, and creamy white, their petals soft and fragrant. Nearby, lavender beds sway gently in the breeze, their purple blooms releasing a calming aroma. The white hydrangeas, clustered in graceful mounds, add a touch of purity and elegance to the scene. Butterflies flit from flower to flower, their delicate wings catching the sunlight, while bees hum softly as they gather nectar. A wide stone fountain stands at the center of the garden, its surface glistening with droplets of water that sparkle like diamonds. The gentle splash of the fountain's stream adds to the garden's soothing melody, blending harmoniously with the distant birdsong and the occasional rustle of leaves. The garden feels alive, a sanctuary for all who visit, and a reminder of nature's quiet power to heal and inspire. Stepping through a heavy wooden door into the castle itself, you are greeted by an ambiance that is both grand and intimate. The entrance hall is vast, with vaulted ceilings adorned with wooden beams darkened by time. Walls lined with tapestries depict scenes of hunts, feasts, and battles, their rich colors telling stories of lives once lived. A soft light filters in through tall stained glass windows, casting patterns of ruby, emerald, and sapphire across the stone floor. The heart of the castle is its tea room, an oasis of warmth and comfort. Tables draped in pristine lace tablecloths are arranged around the room, each adorned with fine porcelain teacups and gleaming silver spoons. The scent of freshly brewed Earl Grey tea wafts through the air, mingling with the sweet aroma of pastries. Platters of golden scones, buttery shortbread, and flaky croissants sit temptingly on the tables, accompanied by bowls of clotted cream and jewel-like preserves. Sunlight streams through tall windows, illuminating every corner of the room. The light dances on the delicate china and casts a warm glow on the polished wooden floors. A roaring fireplace crackles gently in one corner, its heat creating a cocoon of coziness that invites you to linger. Outside the windows, the garden stretches out like a dreamscape, its beauty framed by the rich wood and stone of the castle's interior. As you sip your tea and savor a bite of a warm, buttery scone, the world outside seems to fade away. The distant murmur of conversation, the gentle clinking of china, and the soft crackle of the fire create a symphony of tranquility. It is a moment suspended in time, a rare chance to simply be, free from the demands of the outside world. Beyond the tea room, the castle beckons you to explore its many secrets. Hallways adorned with medieval portraits and suits of armor lead to grand chambers, hidden alcoves, and spiral staircases. Each creak of the wooden floors and echo of your footsteps adds to the castle's character, making you feel like a part of its story. Imagine the lives that once unfolded within these walls, the laughter of children playing in the gardens, the echoes of music during a grand ball, the solemn discussions held in the great hall. Each room holds a piece of history, a memory waiting to be uncovered. This castle is more than just a structure. It is a portal to another time, a place where the past and present intertwine. Its gardens offer peace, its halls hold wonder, and its walls tell stories that inspire. It is a sanctuary for the soul, a reminder of the beauty and magic that can be found in the quiet moments of life. Let the castle wrap you in its embrace, offering a retreat from the chaos of the world. This is your time to pause, breathe deeply, and immerse yourself in the timeless beauty of this enchanting place. Welcome to a haven of serenity, where every corner invites you to dream. Every sound soothes your spirit, and every moment is a gift. Today is no ordinary day at Ashford Castle. Eleanor, the gracious host of this timeless afternoon tea, has invited a trio of her closest friends to share stories, laughter, and moments of tranquility amidst the castle's enchanting setting. Each guest brings a unique presence, weaving a tapestry of personalities that enrich the room with warmth and charm. First to arrive is Margaret, a renowned writer whose passion for exploring the world is as boundless as her imagination. Wherever Margaret goes, she carries a leather-bound notebook, its pages brimming with tales of distant lands and fascinating people. As she steps into the tea room, her radiant smile and sparkling eyes capture the attention of everyone present. Margaret exudes a quiet energy, the kind that speaks of wisdom earned from wandering through deserts, climbing mountains, and navigating bustling city streets. Next is James, a retired history professor with a demeanor as steady as the ticking of an antique clock. His salt and pepper hair and neatly pressed suit complement the well-worn leather satchel he carries. Inside are treasures of his own, a collection of rare history books and documents, the kind that reveal secrets of bygone eras. James enters the room with a gentle nod, his voice calm and measured, as though every word he speaks has been carefully considered. His presence brings an air of dignity, and his passion for history ensures every tale he shares is as captivating as the man himself. Finally, there's Emily, a 12-year-old artist brimming with youthful exuberance and talent well beyond her years. Clutching her sketchbook tightly, Emily steps into the room with wide-eyed wonder, her gaze flitting from the intricate carvings on the walls to the golden light streaming through the tall windows. Her curiosity is infectious, and her enthusiasm lights up the space as though she were a sunbeam in human form. Despite her age, Emily's artistic prowess has earned her admiration far and wide, and her sketches are said to bring scenes to life with breathtaking detail. As the three guests settle into their seats, Eleanor moves gracefully from table to table, pouring tea into delicate porcelain cups. Each person selects a tea that suits their taste and personality. Margaret chooses the floral elegance of Earl Grey. James opts for the bold richness of English breakfast, and Emily delights in the soothing sweetness of chamomile. The gentle clinking of china accompanies the start of their conversations, the sound blending seamlessly with the ambient warmth of the tea room. Margaret begins, her voice animated as she recounts her recent adventures. She shares vivid memories of her trip to Morocco, where she camped beneath a starlit sky in the vast Sahara Desert. She describes the shimmering dunes that seemed to stretch into infinity, and the kind villagers who invited her to partake in a traditional meal of tagine and freshly baked bread. Margaret's words paint such a vivid picture that her companions can almost feel the desert breeze and taste the spices on their tongues. When Margaret pauses to sip her tea, James takes the opportunity to share his own tales, this time of Ashford Castle itself. His voice lowers, drawing his audience closer, as he speaks of the noble families who once roamed these very halls. He reveals stories of grand banquets held in the Great Hall and clandestine meetings in the hidden chambers. But it's the legend of Lady Anne that truly captures everyone's imagination. According to James, Lady Anne, a 17th century noblewoman, is said to still wander the castle on moonlit nights, her ghostly presence shrouded in mystery. As James recounts the tales, Emily's pencil dances across her sketchbook. She sketches the glint of sunlight on the tea set, the joy in Margaret's face as she reminisces, and the passionate gleam in James's eyes as he speaks. Every detail is captured with care, from the texture of the lace tablecloth to the warm glow of the fireplace in the background. For Emily, this gathering is more than an afternoon of stories. It is inspiration in its purest form. The conversations flow seamlessly, punctuated by the occasional chuckle or the thoughtful nod of someone deep in thought. Eleanor, ever the attentive host, ensures the teacups never run dry, and that the platters of scones, shortbread, and petit fours remain plentiful. The room feels alive, not just with words, but with the unspoken connection that binds these friends together. At one point, Margaret leans forward, her tone turning contemplative. "Do you ever wonder," she begins, "how many lives have been touched by this place? How many people have found solace within these walls?" Her question hangs in the air, prompting a moment of introspection. James, always ready with an answer steeped in history, responds with a story of a soldier who sought refuge at Ashford during a long-forgotten war. He found not only shelter but also love, James shares, his voice tinged with nostalgia. It's said that he married the castle gardener's daughter and lived out his days tending to the very gardens that still bloom today. Emily listens intently, her pencil still at work. She sketches a soldier kneeling in the garden, a single rose in his hand, and the gardener's daughter smiling shyly beside him. Her drawing captures not just the scene, but the emotion behind it, a testament to her extraordinary talent. As the afternoon stretches into early evening, the conversation turns lighter. Margaret shares a humorous anecdote about getting lost in a bustling bazaar, while James reveals his less than graceful attempt at horseback riding during his youth. Laughter fills the room, the kind that warms the heart and lingers long after it fades. Eventually, the golden light outside begins to wane, casting long shadows across the garden. Eleanor rises, signaling the end of the gathering. But before they part ways, Emily presents her sketches, a series of portraits and moments from the afternoon. The group marvels at her work, each person recognizing themselves in her art, not just in appearance, but in spirit. as they bid their goodbyes, the guests leave the tea room with hearts a little fuller and spirits a little lighter. Margaret carries with her new inspiration for her writing. James departs with a renewed appreciation for the castle's rich history, and Emily leaves with pages filled with art that will forever remind her of this magical day. And so, the day ends as it began, within the timeless embrace of Ashford Castle, where every moment feels like a story worth telling, and every story finds its perfect setting. As the sun dipped lower on the horizon, the light in the tea room softened, bathing the space in a warm, golden glow. The atmosphere grew cozier, the kind of stillness that invites stories to unfold. Eleanor, with her gentle smile and poised demeanour, began to share the tale of Lady Anne, a story steeped in both romance and tragedy. Lady Anne, Eleanor began, her voice rich with storytelling charm, was said to be one of the most beautiful women of her time. She lived here centuries ago and fell deeply in love with a knight who often visited the castle. But their love was forbidden, kept apart by family and duty. It is said that her heart broke the day her knight rode away, never to return. Some believe her spirit still roams these halls, searching endlessly for her lost love. The room fell silent as Eleanor's words lingered in the air. Emily's eyes widened in a mix of fear and fascination. "Do you think she's still here?" the young artist whispered, her voice barely audible. Margaret, ever the adventurer, couldn't resist teasing. "Perhaps we should look for her after tea," she suggested with a mischievous grin, her words eliciting a ripple of laughter throughout the room. The thought of wandering through the castle's shadowy halls in search of a ghost seemed both thrilling and absurd, lifting the mood. James, always the historian, leaned forward to add his own insights. "You know," he began, adjusting his glasses, "this castle has seen its fair share of mysteries and tragedies. During the wars, it served as a sanctuary, protecting families and soldiers alike. These very walls have borne witness to both triumph and heartbreak, making stories like Lady Anne's all the more poignant." As he spoke, the room seemed to come alive with the weight of its history. The distant creak of a wooden beam or the faint whistle of the wind through the high windows felt less like sounds of the present and more like echoes of the past. The stories gave way to a quieter moment, as everyone savoured their tea and turned their gaze to the world outside. Through the tall windows, the castle gardens glowed softly in the fading light. The roses appeared deeper in colour, the lavender more vibrant, and the fountain's gentle stream seemed to shimmer like liquid gold. Emily, always with her sketchbook in hand, had been quietly capturing the evening's essence. With every stroke of her pencil, she immortalized the glow of the tea room, the serene expressions of her companions, and the timeless beauty of the castle. As she flipped the pages of her filled notebook, she paused and looked up at Eleanor. "I'd like to give you something," Emily announced shyly, her cheeks flushed with pride. She held up a detailed sketch of the castle, its towers and ivy-covered walls rendered with breathtaking precision. The drawing captured not only the castle's grandeur, but also the warmth and serenity of the day. "This is for you, Eleanor, to thank you for inviting us here." The room fell silent again, but this time it was a silence filled with admiration and affection. Eleanor took the sketch with careful hands, her eyes shimmering with emotion. "Emily, this is beautiful," she said softly. "I will treasure it always." Margaret and James leaned in to admire the drawing, their faces lighting up with appreciation. "You have a gift, Emily," Margaret said warmly. "Not just for seeing the world, but for helping others see it too." The mood in the room shifted, taking on an almost sacred quality. It was as though time itself had paused, allowing these moments to linger just a little longer. The sound of the tea being poured, the gentle hum of conversation, and the glow of the evening light created a tapestry of peace and connection. Margaret, always one for adventure, broke the spell with a laugh. "Well, now I feel inspired. Perhaps my next novel will have a chapter set in a haunted castle," she declared, her eyes twinkling. James chuckled. "Just make sure you get the historical details right. No ghosts should be inaccurately documented." Emily giggled, her earlier fear replaced with delight. "If you need illustrations for your book, I can help," she offered earnestly. Eleanor sat back in her chair, watching her friends with quiet contentment. She knew that what made moments like these special wasn't just the setting or the stories, it was the people. Each guest brought something unique to the table, and together they had created an afternoon that would live on in their memories. As the last rays of sunlight slipped below the horizon, the tea room's glow was replaced by the soft flicker of candles. The transition felt seamless, as though the castle itself were adapting to the shift from day to night, welcoming the mysteries of the evening. Before departing, Eleanor led her guests to the castle's library, a grand room filled with shelves that reached the ceiling, their contents a treasure trove of knowledge and history. She retrieved an old book of legends, one that included the tale of Lady Anne. Placing it on the table, she invited James to read aloud. His voice, steady and resonant, filled the library as he brought the story to life once more. The group listened intently, their imaginations painting pictures of moonlit hallways, whispered promises, and a love that defied time. By the time the story ended, the room felt heavy with emotion, a mix of wonder, sadness, and gratitude for the day they had shared. As they prepared to leave, Emily clutched her sketchbook. Margaret carried her notebook, filled with fresh inspiration, and James tucked the book of legends into his satchel, promising to return it on his next visit. Walking through the castle's grand hall one last time, they paused at the garden, now bathed in silver moonlight. The roses, lavender, and fountain looked even more magical in the soft glow, as though holding on to the memories of the day. Eleanor bid her friends farewell at the castle gates, her heart full. As they disappeared down the cobblestone path, the castle fell silent once more, but its walls seemed to hum with the echoes of their laughter, their stories, and the shared moments that would remain within its embrace forever. And so, The day ended as it began, filled with wonder, connection, and the enduring magic of Ashford Castle. As the evening descended into a quiet twilight, the guests began to say their goodbyes. Margaret, with her ever-warm smile, expressed her gratitude to Eleanor. "Thank you for creating such a magical afternoon," she said, her voice filled with sincerity. "It's been a while since I felt this inspired." James, ever the gentleman, shook Eleanor's hand firmly. "This castle holds a special charm," he remarked. "I'll return soon, with more stories to share." His promise carried the weight of genuine affection for the place and its hostess. Emily, with her sketchbook clutched tightly to her chest, gave Eleanor a radiant smile. "I'll never forget Ashford Castle," she said earnestly, her voice full of childlike wonder. "Thank you for everything." Eleanor stood at the grand entrance, waving as her friends disappeared down the cobblestone path. The cool evening air carried the faint scent of lavender from the garden, a reminder of the day's serene beauty. As the last of her guests faded into the distance, Eleanor felt a quiet warmth bloom within her heart, a sense of fulfillment that lingered like the soft glow of the tea room's candles. Returning inside, Eleanor paused in the now silent tea room. The echoes of laughter and stories seemed to linger in the air, giving the space an almost tangible sense of memory. She sat down in her favorite chair by the window, her gaze falling on the remnants of the gathering, teacups half full, crumbs from the scones, and Emily's beautiful sketch of the castle resting on the table. Eleanor's smile deepened as she picked up the drawing, tracing its lines with her fingertips. To her, Ashford Castle had always been more than just a historic building. It was a place where people came together, where stories were told, and where connections were forged. Each gathering, each shared moment, added another layer to the castle's living history, making it a sanctuary not just for its visitors, but for the stories they carried with them. In that quiet moment, Eleanor realized the true beauty of Ashford Castle wasn't just in its towering walls or its lush gardens. It was in the way it brought people together. It was a place where time slowed down, where souls could connect, and where memories were made. Thank you for joining me on this journey to Ashford Castle. If this story brought you a sense of peace and wonder, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Together, we can spread relaxation and joy to more people around the world. As you close your eyes tonight, may the memories of this castle inspire dreams filled with beauty, laughter, and tranquility. Sleep well, and I'll see you next time on Calm and Cozy Bedtime, where more magical adventures await.